Welcome back to the DFO Fantasy Show Center Preview Edition. We are going to dive right in with our value picks at the position this season. We'll start with D. D, you've got the player at the highest ADP, so make a case for him.
Sure. We're going to talk about Joel Eriksson Ek here. Average draft position right now of 135. DFO consensus rank of 106. So we're all about 3 rounds higher on that, 2.5 rounds. Eriksson Ek's really come full circle on the podcast this year. Entered last season with an ADP of 63. Was an easy bust pick at that spot for me. I had him ranked right around that 100 mark again. But now we're entering the 25-26 season. The pendulum has swung fully the other way. The ADP plummeting a full 6 rounds, currently sitting at 135, as we said, after that disappointing taste he left in fantasy owners' mouths last season. Eriksson Ek's profile is never going to allow him to deliver as a 6th-round pick last year. He's a volume shooter, has only shot about 12% in a season once before, simply just doesn't possess the upside you're looking for that early in the draft. What was unfortunate and unexpected, though, was the injury trouble he ran into last season, limited him to just 46 games. Eriksson Ek also featured primarily away from Kirill Kaprizov at 5v5, playing 71% of his 5v5 minutes in the regular season without him. Marco Rossi saw a lot of run as Minnesota's first-line pivot, but notably handed the role back over to Eriksson Ek in the postseason. So I would expect that trend to continue into the 25-26 regular season. Just seems anytime they try to give Rossi a run there at the top of the lineup, his defensive shortcomings, kind of backfire and they move away from it before too long. So I would expect Eriksson Ek to spend more time than not alongside Kaprizov. He's as solid as a two-way player as there is in the NHL today. I'd expect him to see that utilization both 5v5 and on the power play, so you're getting that elite exposure. The two of them dominated play together last season. That's Eriksson Ek and Kaprizov, averaged 33 scoring chances per 6-3 while surrendering just 19. So a clean bill of health, improved utilization should make him a smash pick at that current ADP. I'd expect him to be operating comfortably around his usual 60, 65-point pace while threatening 30 goals and providing great category coverage as well as a volume shooter and hitter. So if the ADP holds, I think he'll be an absolute steal in banger leagues and an all-around great value pick across the board.
Yeah, this was like the reverse of what happened with me. I had value on Vincent Trocheck 2 years ago, bust last year, worked out. You went bust last year with Eriksson Ek. Flipping it over to value this year, I'm sure it will work out. Just the shot volume is so impressive, and if he ever just catches a shooting heater too, like can be a steal. And seeing hopefully a little bit more ice time with Kaprizov would be nice. Beebs, let's go to you now for your value pick from the New York Rangers.
Yeah, this one is the Rangers are kind of getting a little shit on this year, and we are here to change that. It's Mika Zibanejad out in New York. Currently projected to play in the top 6 and on a line with JT Miller and Drew Rosen, Dan Rosen, I apologize, wrote an article out in New York and said basically that he's sticking to the hip of Miller. They are a combo and they are going to be that way to start the year. And I love to hear that because last year, since JT Miller's trade, which came on January 31st, Mika Zibanejad got 32 games under his belt, and during that time, he had 33 points, including 11 goals. So that's over a point per game. During that same time, JT Miller had 35 points in those 32 games to bump up D's earlier points about JT being an absolute steal at drafts. Yes, he is. He looks great in New York. Mika finished the year. He kind of gave us a little, hey guys, remember who I am. Put up 11 points in his final six games to close out the season, and it still ended up just an ugly stat line, which will lead to a lot of people letting him pass in this year's draft. He's currently going 150.5 ADP. That's undrafted in some leagues, tinier leagues, but at the very end of a lot of leagues. And for a guy playing power play 1 and in the top 6, it's very rare to get that quality of a player at this point, but also someone with such a fantastic floor. Mika Zibanejad in the last 5 seasons is 25th in the NHL in points. And that's across 5 years. So that's a steady, big sample. He has 356 in 382 games. That's just under a point per game in 5 NHL seasons. Again, we're talking about someone you're getting at the end of your draft, and he's only 1 season removed from averaging 81.3 points per season in his previous 3 seasons. So if we take out last year, Zibanejad's an absolute stud. He averages way over 200 plus shots per game in his last 7 seasons. He's actually done it in every single season, but the lockout year, which he was more than on pace for. This is a guy we were talking about in top 60s in previous years. He's very frustrating because he goes hot and cold. But if you're taking him at 150, I don't care about the cold if he's going to give me a lot of hot. And if he's starting to feel a little more like Mika Zibanejad that we're used to of previous years, then he is going to absolutely flourish with JT Miller and in that New York offense. They're definitely bound to have a better season than they did last year. Last year was a disaster, and it really couldn't get much worse. So I'm willing to take that chance on Mika. He gets the shots, he gets the points, and he's probably going to get around 30 goals while he's doing it. So that's fantastic for this value at this point in the draft.
Yeah, he kind of feels like my value pick from a season ago, Nazem Kadri, going about the same spot in the draft, a guy that has been kind of a 30-goal guy throughout his career, and a guy that could certainly bounce back and provide tremendous value. And if you want to wait on a center really late, like we talk about a lot, I think that Zibanejad is certainly a prime candidate for that.
Right wing eligible too, so that helps.
Yeah, definitely helps as well. My value pick is Adam Fantilli, whose ADP is currently 191. I won't be surprised at all when that ADP jumps up like 50 spots in the next month. But even then, he'll be a strong value. He is in the ADP, or sorry, the consensus rankings at DFO right now. We've got him at 99.8 value. So just 100 spots ahead of where he's going. Fantilli scored 31 goals last year, but finished with 16 goals in his final 26 games. That's a 51 goal pace if you're counting at home. Pretty good. Now, he shot 23.5% over that span. So obviously not going to carry that throughout the entire season this year, but that just kind of shows his goal scoring ability. But the craziest stat about Fantilli is of his 43 career NHL goals, only 3 of them have come on the power play. Of his 38 career assists, only 4 of them have come on the power play. So he is just an absolutely terrific 5v5 producer, and any sort of bump in power play production this year could see him become one of the best fantasy picks of the year. So as I mentioned, I love waiting on the centers. I got you guys Nazem Kadri at pick 160.5 last year. So Fantilli might be an even better value pick this year. Thanks for watching this video. If you want more great fantasy hockey and betting content from myself, Carter Hutton, Matthew Barnaby, and the rest of the DFO analysts, make sure you subscribe to the DFO Fantasy and Betting YouTube channel today and never miss a minute.